What's up, Faye?
Hi, Alex.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Not bad, not bad. Welcome to the, I don't know if we have a proper title for this, but the University of Illinois College Tour Aftershow. This is going to be fun. We're just going to have some fun. Sound good?
Yeah.
I'm going to tell the audience a fun thing about you before we don't have any like talking points. So this is like completely off the cuff. I want the audience to know that. This is us just kind of riffing. So Faith is at the top 1% of college tour talent, for sure. I want to tell everyone, I mean, imagine there's a lot of work that goes into getting ready and getting, someone like Faith prepared to be on television. And we show up, and typically this takes, I don't know, hour and a half, 2 hours typically when we record this. We show up with Faith. We're in the beautiful theater at University of Illinois. That backdrop was gorgeous. Everything was great. And we sit up there, and Faith just goes for it and crushes it.
Oh my God.
We were like, I remember I looked back at the whole crew. I'm like, no notes? That sounds good. Let's do that again just for fun. Seriously, Faith, it's very rare what you pulled off. You were so well prepared, but also just like so great.
Thank you. I mean, I honestly think you guys cultivated a nice environment for me to like be myself. So I honestly saw it as like an amazing, fun experience, and it wasn't stressful at all for me. So
I think I
loved it so much.
It's so good to hear, and I know that. I mean, we're being in the field, but it's so good for everyone else to know that this is fun. I always try to say at the beginning, because there's so much that goes into making the show. And the best part of it is working with you, like working with students and getting them, ready to be on camera. And so hearing that's awesome, because why else would we, be doing this? It's great.
Exactly.
So I want to ask a couple questions about, because you're a dance major. Obviously you talk about that a lot in your segment, which is really cool. What is like the toughest class? Like, how does being a dance major, what does that start? Are you dancing all the time, or is it dance theory? What is that like?
I get that question a lot. I definitely am dancing pretty much all day. I guess the hardest part of it is just keeping like the same amount of energy throughout my time here, like throughout the day. Because I have classes like back to back and then rehearsals in the evening usually. So I would say just overall, like, keeping that same level like motivation like day by day is like super tough, but it's so worth it. I keep telling people like, you can call me crazy, but I love like the kind of progression towards dance. Like there's never like this perfection like endpoint, but that's what we're striving towards. But although I know I'll never like reach this perfect like dancer kind of thing, because no one does, I still like wake up every day and do it. So yeah, I say call me crazy, but I love that aspect of dance of like always pursuing something you'll never reach, but it's just the progression that is something I've fallen in love with,
That's so cool. So like for someone like me who's, I probably think in my head I'm a good dancer, but I'm probably horrible in reality. And I understand you're in a whole different world, but like is there like a basic, is like day one of class, is it more theory, or are you like learning a dance sequence?
I would say like in college for sure, like you're learning like technique and dance material. But especially like beginners, they'll definitely start with like basic like foundational stuff. Like in ballet, we have like 5 different positions of the feet. There's like first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. So like that'd probably be like the first thing you learn in a ballet class. But in college, they kind of expect you to know those things. So they'll just like teach like a straight combination, and well, they'll explain things if you ask, but for the most part, they expect you to know those things. So I guess there is that kind of pressure of like you kind of have to be on your game. But I mean, again, this is a learning experience. This is college, so it's okay to mess up. But yeah, they definitely do expect you to know a lot of stuff when you come into college for dance.
Yeah, that's so cool. And you have a twin, right?
I do.
You have a twin. Is he in school right now? Obviously,
he is. He's in the Naval Academy right now.
Okay.
So he's really cool.
Dance?
I always say.
Can you teach him moves?
I'm sorry?
Can he dance?
Not at all. And he would agree with me actually. Like we always laugh about it. He's like, you got all the dancing gene, like I got none of it. And I think it's so funny. We're literally like polar opposites. He's into like aerospace engineering and I'm a dancer. So like our minds are completely different. But I think, yeah, we have a great relationship. I love my brother. He's doing amazing things at the Naval Academy. He wants to be a pilot one day. So yeah, super proud of him.
Oh, that's really cool. Did you, either one of your family, how'd you get into dance originally?
I would say, well, my mom put me in dance just because I was like that shy kid that never wanted to leave my mom. So my mom was like, you need to like become your own person. So she put me in a dance class with my best friend. And then after that, it kind of became a hobby. And then in middle school, I joined the dance team and started to fall in love with it even more. I was like, there might be something here. So I started taking more dance classes. And then eventually in high school, I'd say like my sophomore year is when I made the decision to like pursue it professionally. So it's definitely a progression. I didn't really have like that wake up call moment until later on in life, but I'm very grateful I did.
Yeah, that's so cool. And so you're a senior, right? This is like your final chapter. What's next for Faith?
Oh, wow. I've asked myself that question actually. I've actually this past, what was it? March, I was just auditioning for dance companies and like sending in material and whatnot. So I'm supposed to actually hear something this week. So I've been checking my email nonstop, just trying to see like if any companies have responded or anything. But yeah, I this past like March was just me like waking up early, going to the studio, practicing, hating the video, redoing it, and trying to make it perfect. I think that was like the best and worst part about the audition process was that we could record it and send it in, but also like I could do it until I liked it. So that was also like holding you back, like, oh, I can get it better than that, you know. So but I got all those videos in. It's just the waiting phase right now. So I'm praying that I get into a dance company.
Well, I'm hoping that this episode and everything helps you get like, let's like use what we can to help you land. We got to get Faith the job, everyone. Whoever's watching this video right now needs to help Faith get a job in dance. Yes. Now, what's your ideal company or dance company that you're looking for?
Ideal dance company, I would say like a modern-based dance company. So there's a lot that fall into that kind of genre of dance, but modern-based dance company. And then I would love to like travel internationally with the company and just perform in different places and see the world while I'm doing what I love.
That would be the best job in the world.
Literally.
Okay, so this is our mission. I'm telling you, when this is out for the world to see, we all need to help Faith.
Yes.
Job, preferably with a company that travels the globe.
Yes.
And so she can travel the world and have her exact dream job.
Exactly. Please, anybody. So I'll keep you all updated on that.
All right, yeah, you got to keep me updated. Keep everyone updated.
For sure.
Awesome. For sure. To follow your journey. And then one final thing, you started a really cool organization. You talk about it a little bit in your segment. You started your freshman year, right?
Yes.
What's your goal and hopes for that organization? Because I think it's really cool, just to set the audience up. I mean, what University of Illinois really pushes students to create their own organizations if there's not one on campus. Faith went and did that, very profound. What are your hopes and dreams for that after you graduate?
For sure. So actually, I helped start it, but this girl was a dance major, my freshman year, her senior year. She started it. Her name's Crystal Collins, and then I just helped her out. And now I'm president of the organization. So, but I definitely, after I graduate, I would love to see Fine and Applied Arts Black continue to grow and continue to hopefully invite more Black artists to join the UIUC arts community. We started out as an organization that kind of targeted like the College of FAA, so the College of Fine and Applied Arts, but now we've expanded across the whole campus community, and anyone that's interested in the arts or wants to support the arts can join or be a part of our organization. So I'm hoping we continue to see more like Black artists happen or exist on campus, and then join the organization, support each other, and hopefully just play like this community where we're just constantly uplifting, supporting, encouraging, promoting each other's art. And yeah, I would just love to see that more of that happen after I leave.
That's really cool. Well, Faith, I'll tell you, you have impressed like me personally everyone on the college tour production. I know everyone behind the scenes at University of Illinois who came together as a big team that puts the college tour together. Everyone was impressed from you from top to bottom. And so we're like, I'm so proud of you. I love how your segment was fantastic. Thank you for being part of it. And best of luck in the next steps of your journey. And please keep in touch.
I definitely will. I really appreciate you guys trusting me throughout this whole process. So it's been an amazing experience. So thank you so much.
Yes, good luck. Keep in touch. And if we end up, sometimes hopefully our paths will cross again, and you can show me a couple dance moves.
Exactly. Yeah, I got you.
I appreciate it.
All right.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. You too. Bye.
Mike, what's up, man?
Hey, Alex.
How you doing?
Pretty well. I'm doing pretty well. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I miss being on campus, number one. But it's good to see you, man. All right, so this is the after show. We're gonna riff a little bit. This is nothing structured. So we get you to have fun. So my first question, not question. I want to tell the audience, okay? If you noticed in Mike's segment, he talks about all these different organizations that are out there. And it's really cool because I actually want you to talk about that day when you can kind of go on the quad and you can go check out all these organizations. Anyway, one of the ones you bring up is Rubik's Cube Club, right?
Yes.
So Mike brings this up. So he's going to be talking about it in his segment. But legitimately, while we're on location filming, having fun, we're setting up some lights. Mike's over in the corner, and Mike literally has this Rubik's Cube out. And everyone in the production almost stops what they're doing because, got the Rubik's Cube.
Always have it.
Okay, we have to do this real quick. We have to do this for the audience before you go. So Mike is starts going into this Rubik's Cube Club, and you can learn how to crack a Rubik's Cube very quick. Show the audience what you did, because this was fascinating on location.
Sure. Yeah. So there's a simple algorithm.
Hold it up.
Yeah. All right. So, that's that's so solving a Rubik's Cube. It has a couple steps to it, and so that would be one of them. That's kind of a simulation, where.
Okay. A couple things, Mike. Slow it down for the audience. Okay, you're that's one thing. You moving your hands so fast, keep that Rubik's Cube up. I know there's a lot of different pieces to this. What's step one for someone trying to crack a Rubik's Cube?
Sure. All right. Let's do step one. The step one is to get a cross in a singular color. So normally the easiest way to do it is just choose one color. So let's choose white. So we create the white cross. And so in order to do that, we look for the middle white piece. And what we do is we bring up the white centers, so it forms a cross. But we also have to make sure that it's connected the color because each white has another color on it, each side. So red, we have to move it over to the red side. So now this piece is in place. So in a solved state, it would look like this: the white, white, red, red. And so we have to do that with the other colors. So I'm just going to quickly go through that just to save us some time. But this is what it would look like. This is the first step to solve a Rubik's Cube.
Yeah.
Right there.
You lost 99.9% of the in that first move. Let me do it real quick. No, that's awesome. That's really cool. Anyway, so this is one of Mike's many skills that he holds.
Yes.
All right. So, Mike, first of all, thank you for being part of the college tour. We hope you had fun. Did you have fun?
Yeah. No, that was really fun.
Yeah. I remember when we showed up, we were, it's that new dining hall.
Mm-hmm. Oh, my gosh.
What's the name of the dining hall?
It's ISR. So
ISR, that's right.
Yeah.
So we're for the audience. We're at ISR. This is where the location's going to be. We show up, and Mike, because didn't you used to live there?
Yeah, I lived there my freshman year.
But you hadn't been back there?
No, never. They made renovations, I think 1 or 2 years, during my sophomore year, and then they finished my junior year, and then I just never went back in. I never had a reason to.
We're walking in. This is a beautiful, beautiful dining hall with all these cool. It's just college is much different than when I went to school. And so, and I remember, so we're all like, what a beautiful place. And Mike comes in and he's all he's like, I used to live around here. This is not the way it looked.
No, definitely not.
Okay, so the other part of your segment, you talk a lot about music throughout it and your journey. So question that we never got into, and I don't know the answer to this. In Mike's segment, he talks about you created a song that then started getting run on the radio station.
Yes.
Correct? What was that song?
That one was called One Day.
Can you play us it?
Sure. I could play like the kind of the opening riff to it.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I hope this is in tune.
It's like, I mean, I imagine, I don't know. I just think it's really cool that you have this passion and then now you're at university getting to take your passion and it's playing for all the students. It's awesome.
Oh yeah. And I'm still playing for, I have a noontime performance gig where I play weekly at the Illini Union. And I just played for this thing called Musical Mondays, where at 7 p.m. they just bring in a musician to play. And I just did that yesterday. And then tomorrow I got another performance. It's a fun time.
All right, that's awesome. All right, play the song. This is what got you started at the University of Illinois. Your music debut, correct?
Yep.
All right.
Yep. So did you want me to just play like a...
Yeah, just start from the beginning. Let it rip.
All right, sure. Whoops. Okay. Give me 1 second. This is difficult to hold it like this. I'll just bring my camera down.
Are you singing along to this song, or is this just acoustic?
No, this is a sing one.
Oh, we're gonna start hearing Mike sing.
Oh yeah.
Get the popcorn
Let's
out.
see if I remember the. See if I remember the lyrics too. I'm drifting, not sinking, waiting in the waters of my mind. I'll find it, and then I'll get somewhere to crash in this open sea. One day, forgot my pick.
Dude.
One day while I've been drifting, I'll be caught onto something. And one day I will drop an anchor in the sea, so my eyes clear.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Thank you.
First of all, that's really good. I'm so jealous because during this time of I don't even like to say the word, but of COVID, I've been trying to pick something up, and I tried to learn guitar, and I can barely play G. So I am so like, my dream is to like be on stage. That is awesome, and you wrote those lyrics too.
Yeah,
that is awesome. What a great skill. What a great skill. Well, listen, Mike, this has been awesome. Thank you for being part of the college tour. What's next for you on your journey in life?
Well,
What
I
year
got
are you?
I'm a senior.
Yeah, what's next?
So I just accepted a job offer about 2 weeks ago in Nashville. So I'm headed down there, and I'm gonna try to pick up gigs while I'm down there as well.
What are you doing for a job? What's your job?
I'm a business analyst. So I'm a business student. So Yeah.
Mike, could that be any more perfect for you? Did you plan to land in Nashville, like country music capital?
Yeah, that was
strategy.
that was me and my fiance's number one place, was to move to Nashville. So that's what
it's a big, hey, congratulations, man. That's a big deal. You got a job, you're engaged, right? Or did you get married?
Mm-hmm. I'm about to get married in May.
All right. Well, big congratulations. Best of luck in your job. Enjoy Nashville. Let the world know where you're going to be playing at, because I definitely want to come watch you watch some of your concerts. All right.
Of course.
All right. Hey, take it easy, Mike. Play us out on this. Play us out. That's awesome. All right, Mike. We'll see you soon. Thanks for doing the after show.
Of course.
All right.
See you,
Cheers,
Alex.
man. Bye. Hey, Kennedy. Welcome to the University of Illinois College Tour after show. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thanks for doing this.
Of course.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to tell the audience, first off, we work with a lot of students. But Kennedy, your smile, it was so good to see you here, because look at that smile right now. Kennedy never stopped smiling. That's usually something we have to work on a little bit when we're like coaching and getting students like prepared to be on camera. But Kennedy, it was like such a natural. I don't think you ever stopped smiling from the day when we showed up. That's awesome. That's awesome. So I got a question like behind the scenes, because you're going to be a doctor. What inspired you to want to be a doctor?
Well, I always wanted to be a doctor since I was like a little girl. But just seeing like, I guess, health disparities just in general, and like growing up where I did in Chicago, I just really knew that I wanted to do something to like give back to my community. And I was like, maybe social work. And I was like looking around at different things, but then I really fell in love with science. So through my major, I guess, I got a lot of exposure and decided that medicine was the path for me.
So cool. That's awesome. So inspiring. Because you grew up in Pilsen, right?
Yes, I did. It's a great neighborhood. It's very diverse, but yeah, I still live there. I love it a lot.
It's so cool. It's so cool. And you want to go back there, right? Is that where you want to go back and practice potentially?
Actually, yeah.
Are those plans in motion?
I want to go back. I'm going back this summer. But yeah, after I grow up and finish medical school, finish residency, I want to go back to Pilsen.
Yeah, it's so cool. Are you graduating this year? What year are you?
I'm a sophomore, so I'm graduating in 2020.
So you got some time.
Yeah.
You got some time. Yeah. It's super fun. Yeah, I mean this whole experience, like doing the college tour. What was that like for you?
Oh my gosh, it was amazing. Like I said, being like a first-gen student, my family hasn't been to college before, so they haven't been on TV either. So it was like two birds, I guess.
Do you have any doctors in your family?
No, actually.
So you're just like checking off new things one by one by one.
Yep.
Doctor, check. That's the most important. But first to school, first to be on television. How cool is that?
Yeah. It was amazing. I love the whole like production and everything.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. Like I always try to say, like, at the end of the day with this show, we try to have fun. I don't know if you remember early on in our conversations, but we say it all the time. It's like, if we're having fun now in the beginning process, when we're like kind of just starting to get to know each other through like figuring out what you're going to say on camera and then the coaching piece, the more we're having fun, the better it's going to be for the audience when they're watching. For sure. And I think that's another interesting part that like a lot of, that we at least want people to know that that's like really your story.
I know, you guys, I was like trying to write it in several ways and you guys were like, it's about you. Like, it's not about the university, it's about you at the university. So I think that you guys definitely like made it my story and like kept it that way.
Yeah. It's such a fun like process all together. Yeah, it was fun. I want to tell the audience, imagine for a student, It's gotta be, and you did it so well because like when I wanted to start this whole segment, look at you smiling now. That's how Kennedy was literally the entire time that we were on set. But it's a lot, you got cameras behind you and you got all these people staring at you, and you just came up and like, cause I remember we're in the B. Nesbitt building, right? And you're kind of, and you're sitting there and a lot of times, students are kind of walking and that look when we just had you sit there, stand there, which is almost even more daunting because you're just standing there talking to a camera, but you absolutely smashed it. We were all just so like over the moon, and yeah, it's super cool. Anything else? So you're moving on. You got to go on to like you're going to school from here because you're going to be going to med school after this. Yes. Do you know what med school you're going to?
I'm not sure, but since Chicago has so many medical schools, I'm applying to all of them.
Yeah, that's another awesome thing about University of Illinois is that location. You're so close to, such an amazing city. And for the audience to know, Lisa Hennessy, if you saw someone just walk back here, she's the other EP. She is from Chicago. So she went to University of Illinois. So it was this episode was like really special to go back there with Lisa, her alma mater, hometown, and that location was just super fun. Yeah. Any questions? Anything? Do you have any questions for me? Let's maybe flip the tables.
I don't know. I'm not sure. I do have a question. What did you think of U of I? Or like, did you like the school, or was it like too big?
Yeah, U of I is the quintessential, and I don't even want to call it Midwest because it was so cool because you have this beautiful campus in this very quaint town. And I loved it. And I'd heard about it so much because Lisa, one of the EPs, that's where she went to school. And so that was, so I'd heard so much. It was such a beautiful campus. And I can't say enough about you students. Sorry, the phone's ringing in the background. But like the students, you all were so amazing. And also, there's a lot of people that touched this episode, right? Like from production to the team at University of Illinois. And I got to tell you, the team at University of Illinois was so fun to work with. Like you just feel this. And I always say that about the city of Chicago. I think it's one of the nicest big cities in America, right? Because it's full of Midwest people that come there. And I think that resonated throughout this whole, through the whole episode. And so everyone we worked with across the board was just so fun. So I loved it. It was, I don't know if you could tell, but the production crew was having a blast throughout the whole time.
That's so funny.
Yeah, and it was funny. I remember we're sitting on the quad during my stand-up, and it was like it was almost your first day of spring that was hitting. Yeah, that was hitting, and so we could see the snow melting in the backdrop while we were going. So it was fun to be there to see because it's so cool. You get all 4 seasons. You get like the awesome winters, you get great summers, you get everything at University of Illinois. But to be there at that first time of spring, everyone was just like. And I grew up in Boston, so I know what that feeling's like when you've just done, a winter and all of a sudden it's like, sun's out, let's get our tans. That was cool. So I loved it. That was a long answer just to tell you that I loved University of Illinois.
Awesome.
All right, well, thank you for doing the after show, Kennedy. You're a rock star. Keep smiling. And, if I ever need a doctor, I know where to come.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Kennedy. We'll see you soon.
You guys, bye.
Arnaldo, what's up, my man? How you doing?
Howdy, I'm good. I'm really busy right now. I'm not gonna lie. School is kicking my butt. But
School's kicking your butt. Well, we appreciate you taking some time out of your busy schedule for the University of Illinois College Tour after show.
Thank you. Excited to be here.
And Arnaldo, you crushed it on camera. You did such an awesome job. Do you have fun doing it?
Yeah, I had a blast. I was telling all my friends afterwards, like that made my day. Like I was like. My energy after I was lit the whole day. Like I was going on walks, I was like cooking everything, I was cleaning. My roommates were like, who is this guy? Like he's different. And I'm just like, hey guys, I'm famous now, don't talk to me.
That's pretty cool to hear because a lot of times after I'm on camera for a while because you have to give so much energy that I almost want to take a nap.
No, see, that was the opposite. I was like, okay, I'm about to go on a walk. You guys saw me like after we filmed, I went on like a big walk around campus and I was just like, you know what? I feel energized. Like I'm lit, so I don't know. I had a super productive day after.
That's good. Well, we need to get you on. We need to do more stuff with you that helps you be more productive.
Yeah, you guys got my number. You know.
You know what I want to ask you about, because in your segment you talked about, I mean, a big piece, you got this like full ride, right?
Mm-hmm.
That came out of that was a surprise to you.
Mm-hmm.
Walk us through that, Arnaldo. Like really, let's take a moment, because I want to know what was like really coming out of your mouth, really was going through your head, because what an amazing piece of news.
Mm-hmm. So I hadn't gotten my financial aid letter. So we had to accept our offer. I think it was like in the beginning of May, like early May. And I got admitted to the university in December, and I still hadn't gotten any financial aid. It was like May, and I just really wanted to come. So I was like, you know what, screw it, I'm going to accept my offer. And I was waiting like for a long time, because I had to submit a lot of documents. I had to do a lot, like just a lot of paperwork for the university with financial aid and stuff like that. And so I was really stressed out. I was like, okay, like at this point, just give me something. Like I'll take $1,000. I don't care. And I was just kind of chilling. Like, again, like I was talking to my cousins a lot about this, because we're all the same age. So we were all complaining about, well, I was complaining. They were all like super excited about like going to school and stuff like that. And I was like, well, yeah, I'm going to UVI, but I still don't have my loans sticking out. I don't know how I'm going to pay for this. And so I just checked on my app, just like not the app, on my phone, on the website. And like coincidentally, like normally it says like error, like pay, like it's not there, like it's not loading. And finally stuff popped up, and literally like my eyes shot up, and I was like, oh crap. And like I saw a lot of like numbers, and I was like, what is this? I turned to my cousin, and I was like, what is this? I'm like, does this mean I got money? Like I was so confused, because I didn't expect to get all that money, or like to get anything really. So when I got it, I was like, wait, but do you have to pay back a grant? Like, what do I do? Like I was just so lost, because I was so blown away. Like I really didn't expect to get any money. I was thinking maybe 1,000, maybe 2, but a full ride, that was crazy.
Oh, it's insane. What an awesome, and it's cool to see, because I know we were talking off camera of how much you appreciated that and the work that you're putting in now because of that full boat from University of Illinois. That's awesome. Yeah. The other thing, was funny. So that Arnaldo and I were talking about off camera, Arnaldo, you love like reality TV, especially Big Brother, right?
That is my show. Like every summer, summer doesn't start until Big Brother is on. Like I love Big Brother, Survivor, all those shows.
Yeah, it's funny. And I got my start on Amazing Race, and one of the Lisa, one of the EPs helped launch the reality TV space. Burton was on Survivor. So that was a fun connection. So you know what I was thinking about? So Jeff and Jordan?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna try to call Jordan, have her say hi to you.
Stop.
I swear to God, I'm gonna try. Hang on.
I would.
So I know Jeff and Jordan really well. We do a lot of work with them, and so Jeff's one of my best friends. Like he was in my wedding.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so crazy.
What's up, Jordan? All right, hang on, Jordan. I got someone you gotta say hi to, because this guy is a huge Big Brother fan. Jordan,
hi.
Arnaldo.
Hi. What's going on? I'm talking to you now. Apparently, I didn't expect that today.
Jordan, a little backdrop. We do a show called The College Tour. We did an episode at University of Illinois, and Arnaldo was one of the students in it. Yeah. And during this, he was like, oh, I love Big Brother. I'm like, oh my gosh, we got to call Jordan.
Wait, how old were you when you started watching? Wait, did you see my season 11?
No, fun fact, I just started watching Big Brother in college, and I got obsessed. So like, I'm like literally my freshman year, I did terrible, because all I would do was watch Big Brother. I wouldn't do my homework.
Isn't it?
Huh?
It's addictive.
Oh my God, yes. Your season was actually like, you were the first person that I was rooting for from the beginning, and you won all the way through. Like usually the person that I'm rooting for always gets kicked out pre-jury, or like in the first in the jury. So when you made it all the way to the end and you won, I was like geek. That was the first time anybody that I was rooting for from the beginning actually won.
That's so awesome. Jeff always laughs, because he's like, you went on the show and you had no idea what you were doing. You didn't even know you were on Big Brother, and you won. He goes, you were the last person probably everyone thought, and then you won. And then Jeff still loses. He's still bitter.
Well, yeah, he lost twice, 3 times. No, twice. No, I'm not going to do him dirty like that. But I was a big fan of you guys. Because Jeff was from Chicago. So that's why I always root for the Chicago people. And I root for just like the sweetheart, like my favorite, like the one that I think I identify most with.
Oh, well, thank you. It was so nice to meet you.
You too. I'm like geeked. I didn't expect to talk to Jordan today.
You're like live on the after show. Thank you so much, Jordan. I'll give you a Jeff call later on today.
Okay, cool.
All right, cheers.
That's so lit. Thank you. I didn't think he was gonna answer.
I just remember before we went live, I was like, oh yeah, you love Big Brother, you know? So I was like, all right, this will be great. So
Oh my God. Thank
yeah,
you. Yeah.
they're like two of our very, very, very close friends. So
That's so cool. Yeah, I remember season 11 and season 13, but season 11, I was really rooting for Jeff and Jordan. I was like, those are my guys. Like,
yeah, they're like they win like every time they do anything. They're like the fan favorite. A fun fact. I did this show called Jeff and Jordan Do America for CBS like years ago. It was on their online platform. Anyway, we actually left from Chicago, from Jeff's hometown. We did Route 66 to LA. That was the show.
Oh wow, okay.
And we would always like try to go into a restaurant. And if you go into a restaurant in Middle America with Jeff and Jordan, you'll shut a restaurant down. Like
Really?
they will, they're so popular, you know, in that region of the world. It was insane. Yeah.
Really? That's so cool.
Yeah. Well, Arnaldo, thank you for doing the after show. Thank you for being part of the college tour experience. It was super fun working with you. You know, the episode's awesome. All your students, can't say enough about it. So, and I appreciate you taking some time out of your busy schedule today to do this.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I mean, I was super excited when I got the call to be on the show and or the email. So I'm like, hey, like I'm gonna do an after show too, right? So now I get to talk to Jordan. I'm lit. Like this is fantastic.
All right, my man. Well, have a great day. All right. We'll see you soon.
Thank you so much. It was nice seeing you.
All right. Cheers, Arnaldo.
Goodbye.
Mackenzie, how are you? Welcome to the University of Illinois College Tour after show. How are you?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing pretty well. How was your experience doing the college tour?
It was a lot of fun. I was very nervous going into it. Like I had never been on camera like previously, but I was like, I remember after I left, I just had like the biggest smile because I had so much fun.
Oh, that's so good. That is so good to hear. I literally, in one of the other after show segments I was talking about, like we really try to make sure this is like a fun, because there's a lot put on you, you know, in the sense of getting prepared and, you know, figuring out what your story is and then showing up. You got this camera in your face and yeah, you did such a great job. But nothing makes me happier knowing that you guys enjoyed the experience. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, of course.
In your segment, I remember you talking about you did a study abroad to Australia, right? How was that? Let's talk about that. I love travel and I love Sydney. Did you love that?
Yeah, I like studying abroad was something I knew I wanted to do like before coming to college. So I didn't really have a place in mind, but then I was like, I definitely want to go somewhere like warm and somewhere far away where I probably wouldn't be able to go like other than studying abroad, and Australia was like very far. So I was like, okay, I definitely want to go to Australia, and I wanted to go somewhere where it would be like a city. So I picked Sydney, and they have a great engineering university there. So that's why I picked it.
Yeah. So, well, Sydney's such a beautiful place. And I always say, you know, I was fortunate enough to do a study abroad in high school. And well, I played soccer down there. And
really?
I lived down in Brazil in high school. And then I did Germany in college. And so I always say, I don't have any kids, but if I did, those would be two things: do one in high school, do one in college, because people understand like that probably taught you more about life than all your smarty pants engineering things. It is.
It was definitely a great experience. Highly, highly recommend doing it.
Yeah, that's cool. So let's, you're moving to Seattle, correct? Working for Microsoft. How exciting. Tell us about that. How are you there yet? Are you there now? Or are you still at school finishing up?
I'm still at school. I graduate in this May. So like in a month, less than a month. And then I have like the summer off, and then I moved to Seattle in August. Very excited, nervous, but excited. Yeah.
I mean, that is absolutely incredible. I know, you know, you did incredible internships, and the job that you're getting out of college is ridiculous. What are you going to be doing?
I'm going to be doing product management in tech though, which I have never done before actually. I've always done like software engineering, so very technical. But I always like really wanted to go into product management or try it. So I like just told my manager over the last summer, that I was interested in it, and I got to like have conversations with the other product managers on the team, and he was like, oh, you should interview for it just to see. And I interviewed, and then I got an offer, so I accepted it. So I hope I really like it, because I've never done it before.
I mean, I'm sure it's going to be amazing, but just walking into such a prestigious company right out of college with the job and getting the summer off, they must really want you to say, hey, graduate, take a couple months for yourself, and then come on up here. How cool of an experience that is. So I got a question for you on like hacking, like how easy, because listen, everyone out there, Mackenzie is really smart. I mean, she's done internships. You did Facebook, correct? Facebook,
Yes.
Microsoft. So she is super, and you talk about it in your segment, it was like, is this program right for a woman? I mean, you need to have a mic drop now. You're like, what's up? I'm on top of the class and I'm heading to one of the best companies in the world to go work for. It's pretty impressive. How long would it take you to hack into my computer?
Ooh, I think personally for me, I don't know if I could hack into it. Depends on how easy your password is, I guess. Like, is your password really easy to crack? Is it something that like I could probably guess?
I don't think so, but like that's a good question, probably even for our audience. Like let's ask you, how complicated are your passwords? I want to do what you're doing.
My passwords are pretty good. Change mine quite frequently as well.
You do. Is it all the same password?
So,
or is it all the same password for all your devices and your stuff? So it's all different and you're changing them all the time? How do you keep track of all that?
Yeah. I just somehow track of them. I don't really know how. I know there's like program you can like keep track of them. I know a lot of people also keep a notebook, so it kind of depends on what you want to do with that.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, you're giving us like advice. I think everyone in the world's been, at some point in time. So as you figure those things out, I would appreciate if you send me an email once in a while and be like, hey, Alex, here's a cool app to go do, because I'm always, I guess I actually am changing passwords because I'm always forgetting what they are. Well, I hope you had a great time on this, Mackenzie. Thank you so much for being part of the college tour. You represent University of Illinois in such a great way. And we just all wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors, and best of luck up in Seattle and crush it for Microsoft. Can't wait to keep following your career.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I've had such an amazing time working with even just writing my own script. Like that was really, really cool, and filming the whole process. Yeah, I've had so much fun throughout the process.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, have a good time finishing up at University of Illinois. Enjoy your summer, and just have a blast at Microsoft.
Thank you.
All right. Bye, Mackenzie. Mahir, what's going on, my man? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing well. Welcome to the University of Illinois College Tour Aftershow. There's so much to talk about when it comes to Mahir and this experience, and I don't even know where to begin. First of all, thank you from everyone, from the college tour team, everyone at the University of Illinois for being part of the show. You did a great job.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. I had a great time shooting this show.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be asking you questions, but there's so much I have to tell the audience, because I was so excited to meet you in person, Mahir, because of the run up. So there's weeks of pre-production, for the audience know, there's weeks of pre-production that lead up to us actually, being on location and working with Mahir. So you kind of get to know each other, but most of the time, any episode that I'm personally directing, which I did in this episode, I literally give, as you know, the students my cell phone number. I'm like, you have questions, you reach out, okay? No one actually does it. No one ever calls me or does anything. Mahir, complete opposite. I would get text messages from Mahir being like, do you like this wardrobe? What do you you remember that? You would be sending me text messages all the time, and I loved it. It was so fun. You made it fun from the beginning to the end. And I shouldn't say that. That was everyone on our team, everyone at University of Illinois. Everyone was so excited to work with you in person.
I'm glad. Yeah, I don't know why I messaged you about the wardrobe, because I only own one shirt. And so if you had said no, I'd have been in some good trouble there. But I have one shirt and one haircut. And so if you had issues with it, we'd have had a problem. But I'm glad you liked it.
Did you just say haircut?
Yeah, I mean,
I was gonna say, by the way, Mahir, every time, like when we're on location, he would be like, "Oh, my mom wants to make sure my hair is perfect." Your hair is on point today, here, Mahir. Your hair looks, did your mom make sure that you blow dry your hair this morning? Make sure it was good. Did she do it?
I have a calculus 3 midterm today, and so I have been last minute studying for that. So today there was no blow drying involved in my beautiful hair.
Well, if that's just your hair au natural, wow, that's pretty good, man. Pretty solid. I'm gonna let the audience know about something else too. Mahir, when we're in this lab filming Mahir almost, and usually, typically students are talent is like listening to every word we are saying because they just want guidance and help through this process. Mahir became the director of his own segment. Mahir at one point in time kicked me out of the room. He was like, "Alex, I can't have you here." Do you remember that?
I remember that. I was freaking out. There were like 20 guys in there. And then, there was someone taking pictures and there was a guy with a huge light. I was so stressed. And then, you were just there. And every time I looked at you, I was like, oh my God, if I mess this up, this man is going to kill me. So I really appreciated all the advice, but to be very honest, I was kind of just freaking out. So I needed a minute there.
Yeah, no, Mahir, we had so much fun filming with you. I'd love to talk about a little bit, because you talk about it in your script, you talk in your segment. We talked about it a lot off camera. Your hometown in India and how much your family means to you. You talk about your mom all the time. Tell us a little bit about what it was, about the area you grew up in.
So I grew up in Gurgaon. I tell everyone in the US that I'm from Delhi because they all know Delhi. If I say Gurgaon, no one has any clue where I'm from. And so the funny thing is, all the people on campus who are actually from Delhi take great offense with me calling myself a guy from Delhi, but that's just some India gossip there. But yeah, I'm from a place called Gurgaon. I grew up there. I've lived there my whole life. And all of a sudden, during the middle of a pandemic, I packed up my bags. I packed up a very heavy 3D printer and I brought it all over to UIUC. And all of a sudden I was in this whole new place. So, every week I would have my regular breakdowns. I would freak out. I'd be upset. I'd mess up some exam. But like you said, I talk about my mom a lot because I don't know, my mom just fixes everything. I think all moms are like that. You got to give your mom a call once a week and she sorts everything out. So that's what it was like coming to UIUC. But in India, I had a great time. In high school, I was I always loved robotics and I loved science, and so I never really found myself on any sports teams. But as you grow up, you kind of find a place. I really enjoyed the the little technology nerd behind in the auditorium, controlling the lights and like filming and stuff. And so when you guys pulled up with your $10,000 worth of cameras, I was mind blown.
Yeah, that's great. It's great. And you've created some, it's amazing what you've already created in your career, from technology, the Terminator, all these things. What are you working on now? You and your buddies in the shop. What do you guys got cooking up your sleeves?
So just this past week, actually, like 4 days ago, Thursday night, I spent the entire night in my friend Ben and Gabe's workshop. I slept on an air mattress in the floor for about 2 hours, and I just spent the whole night because it's what I like doing. I like tinkering. I like messing around. It's not an all-nighter for me. It's fun. And so right now, actually, behind me, I have this is a spine prototype. So me and Professor Banerjee have been working on the spine together. And so this is the first prototype I ever created. Each of these red things is a little vertebrae, and the whole thing can actuate left and right individually. It looks mind-numbingly boring on camera, but I swear it's very cool.
I think it's cool. So what are you doing with this right now? Are you testing from injury or how it works?
So Professor Banerjee actually has a very interesting outlook on actuators right now. And to be very honest, he's right. Robots are kind of boring, they just have they have elbows and they have shoulders, but that's about all we've managed to recreate of the human body. Imagine if we could give a robot a spine, like the human spine. It can do anything. Like, look at me. I can make any form of shape I want. If a robot can have an actuator like that in it, the possibilities are endless. And so making an actuator with a bunch of tiny distributed magnets in it is what Professor Bannett is working on. And so that's fine. Right now it only moves left to right, but the goal is to create an actual human spine and then plug that into some industrial robot so it can balance, or it can like pick up packages, or it can, just do stuff that robots right now can't. And it looks cool.
It's super cool. It's fascinating. I'm so looking forward to following your career and what is next for you. What year are you in school again?
I'm a freshman. So
okay, yeah, you're a freshman. You got plenty of time in school. So, well, I'm still going to be excited to follow, and you keep me up to speed with every new invention you have, so I can be one of the early adopters or testers for you. Sound good?
Definitely.
Well, Mihir, we all can't thank you enough for being part of this. It was so fun working with you. I hope this relationship continues, and you ever need anything, you just give me a call.
All right, I will. I like calling you. So
you do. If you want tomorrow before you go to school, if you want to send me your wardrobes, decide on what you're wearing to your next exam, just let me know, okay?
All right, for sure.
All right, appreciate you joining this. Take care.
Yeah. Wait, on a off-camera note, was that adequate banter?
What's that? Say that again.
Was that adequate banter?
What's that mean?
Like, did I do a good job bantering with you?
Well, we're still live, so the audience is seeing you. Check on this. But you did a great job here. You did fantastic. As always, you're super fun. Mihir, you have a very fun and pure soul to you. You're great. You're great.
Okay.
And I know you're going to do amazing things in life, so it's going to be exciting to follow your career.
Don't worry about it. I'm going to be spamming you with links all the time now.
Well, I hope they're good, as long as they're good links.
Yep.
All right, my man. All right, well, listen, thanks for being part of the show. We appreciate it, and we'll see you down the road. Sound good?
All right, see you guys.
Cheers, Mihir. Hey, Christine, welcome to the University of Illinois College Tour After Show. It's good to see you. How you doing?
It's good to see you too, Alex. I'm doing great. How about you?
Good. How's life been since filming?
It's been crazy. Second semester is senior. It's like flying by.
I know. Senior. Where are you off to next? Because you're economics. Do you have a job yet?
Yeah, so I'm in marketing, and I am going to be working with Nielsen after graduation in Chicago.
Okay, it's funny. I'm like killing myself because you talk about that in your segment. You say it.
Yeah.
You have that job. Yeah. It's funny. One of the other, we were doing it with one of the other, students who was in the show. And I was like, get this person a job. And so.
This would be a good way to market your way in,
Well, what's interesting? It's and we've seen it with so many of the students at University of Illinois. You all get hooked up with these like amazing jobs.
I am very grateful to have mine. It's my dream company, so I can't wait.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, super. And you're going to Chicago right next door. That's super fun. One of the other students I was in the segment, she's off to work at Microsoft. It's super impressive where you all are going. Yeah, it's impressive. It's a nod to the university of what you guys are getting to do afterwards. Are you going to continue your theater?
Oh, fingers crossed. Alex, I want to do it. I don't know exactly how yet, but I know I want to continue dancing and singing, and Chicago's the place to do it, I think. So that's the goal.
No, for sure. I'm curious because you do talk about a little bit in your segment of like in the theater department that there were people from many different areas, but like how many people are like super smart statistics people like you are who are in dance? How common? Because that cannot be that common.
Okay, it definitely isn't that common for sure all around, but in our organization, what's so cool about it is I got to meet so many people like me. I have friends who are engineers who are like, have their crazy curriculum, and then they're coming to help perform musicals and put on musicals after class. And I don't know, I just think that's so cool. And the balance that some of these students can keep up is just insane.
Yeah, it's so fun. That's so fun. One of the things I wanted to dive into, I was excited about doing this piece of the after show because you could tell how excited you were about your study abroad, right, in Belgium.
Yes. Yes.
Let's talk about that. How awesome was that? And tell about your experience there. It's going a little deep on that.
Yeah, sure. No, that was an incredible opportunity. I've been wanting to study abroad for so long. Everyone talks about it when you come to a big university and how they have those programs. And I knew I could do it through the business school, which was even better because I could take some business courses abroad. So I knew I wasn't going to be behind. But when I got to Belgium, I got there in February, so about a month later than a lot of other programs start. It was supposed to go to June, did get cut short because of COVID, but I got a whole 5 weeks there. And it doesn't sound like that long of a time, but to me, it was just enough to feel like I really was in Belgium and just with all these people and meeting so many different friends and trying so many different foods, which is totally my thing. So that was awesome. And yeah, I loved the little town I was in. It's called Leuven. And it's right by Brussels, so really close to the big city, the big hub, but just enough where far enough away where I just felt like it was this quaint little town where I got to really explore and meet so many different people. And I don't know, that was just by far my favorite part, just exploring and getting to live there.
That's so cool. How did you decide on Belgium?
That is a great question because the Leuven program only had 2 people from the business school come there and then 4 from U of I total. So it was super small and it's definitely not one of the most popular programs at U of I. But I just wanted something different. I wanted somewhere that I'd never explored before and that didn't know a lot about. I really want to push myself out of my comfort zone. And I also wanted to make sure I wasn't going with just all U of I students and then staying with all U of I students. That's a great way to study abroad. It's very comfortable. But I wanted to just go somewhere that I knew I'd have to make new friends. I had to meet people because I only had my one friend Olivia with me to explore the business school and all this in Leuven. And so I had to figure that out right away. And I think that was the biggest decision for me, just being able to go somewhere that would really push me out of my comfort zone.
That's super smart. I mean, I've spent most of my career traveling the planet, and I feel like you get more learning lessons from that. And kudos to you for doing it, wanting to go off maybe the path not less, not as traveled, because the experiences you're forced to make more friends. And I bet are you still close with a lot of the people that you met over there?
Oh yeah, I mean, it's so nice we had WhatsApp and Instagram and all the different social media accounts. You could keep in touch with them because I mean, I was scared at first that we'd all lose touch because of different numbers and just being back in different time zones, but just enough where I would see something on one of my friends' Instagrams or their Snapchat story and I'll just say something like, oh my gosh, this reminds me of this. And they're like, whoa, yeah, I can't believe this. And it's just so funny how you can still connect that way. And yeah, it's just been really nice to have those friends, and they for sure next time you can come back, you're staying on my couch. At this point I have friends all over Europe. I could just couch hop. I'm just
that's the best part about traveling. That's the best part for sure, is having these relationships around you're becoming a global citizen.
Yeah, I hope to do a lot more of that after college as well, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, it's so fun. Yeah, so I guess you're in your final weeks, or final month-ish left of school.
Right about there, yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, are you going right to your job, or do you get some time off?
I get time off. I get, I think I start in July is when my job starts. So definitely excited to have a little time to kind of figure out how to do this whole after graduation thing and just to get started. But I am really excited to see what to come next. I mean, U of I has been such an incredible experience, and of course I'd wish I could just stay forever, but I'm also really excited to see, the real world and all that out there.
Yeah, I mean, you're heading on to your next chapter of life. It's super exciting. Just freshmen come in, that whole experience at college is so fun, and so you grow so much. But this next chapter is phenomenal, and you need to keep in touch, because if you get into whatever play you land into or dance, wherever you end up, you need to let us know, because the college tour team will be in the front row cheering you on.
That would be amazing. I will send all the emails. That sounds great.
Well, it has been, we thank you for being part. This comes from everyone at the college tour, everyone at the University of Illinois that's behind the show. They're all like so fantastic. And yours like zest for life. Like everyone, how Christine's acting here, this is how she is 24/7. Whether in pre-production, in the field, you like, it looked like you were having fun the whole entire time. Because a lot of times it can be a little intimidating. We show up, there's cameras, and you were just like, all right, bring some more cameras over here. Who else? I put the spotlight right here because I got this. You did really well. It was fun.
Thank you. I was living in the moment. It really was awesome.
Yeah. Well, we thank you for being part of the show. Best of luck everywhere you go. Please keep in touch with us. You're always, part of the college tour family, and we just thank you for everything.
Well, thank you so much, Alex.
All right. Best of luck. We'll talk to you soon. Okay.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye. All right, welcome everyone back to the University of Illinois, the College Tour After Show. We're very lucky here to have Lisa Hennessy. She is one of the co-creators of the College Tour. She's one of the executive producers. And most importantly, she's a University of Illinois graduate. Lisa, thanks for coming.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So let's start I'm going to tee Lisa up for everyone first, because she will not brag about herself. Lisa is one of the most prolific producers in Hollywood. She helped, she was the executive producer of Eco Challenge for years, helped launch mega hits like Survivor, Contender. You were executive producer of Biggest Loser, World's Toughest Race on Amazon Prime. Lisa's list of credits go on and on and on. And I think it's so cool that we got to go do the college tour at your alma mater. What did that feel like going back there?
Oh my God, it was incredible. It's been, I graduated in 1991, so I'm officially aging myself. And it was the first time back. So what is that, 30 years? And so as much as things have changed, a lot of the things stayed the same. So I really enjoyed the first day when we got to campus, doing a little walk around the quad. I chose not to use Google Maps to figure out locations and use memory and thinking about places I had classes in. I walked by my sorority, Gamma Phi Beta. Walked by. It was a really wonderful walk down memory lane. And it's great to see the next generation of kids out on the campus as well.
It's so good. If Lisa is a big walker, I don't think she ever got in a production vehicle the entire time we were there.
Yeah, I mean, maybe once I did when it was a little chilly, but no, I got my steps in for sure walking around the campus, and it was such a beautiful way to once again have a walk down memory lane.
Yeah, it's so fun. When you think back,
and it was warm. Sorry to interrupt.
Oh,
it was like spring was coming.
Yeah.
It might have been the end of February, but like it was really fun to see the snow slowly melting as we were shooting and doing your stand-up.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like all these kids outside, it's probably like 40 degrees when people are still wearing shorts and t-shirts,
right,
which is a little bit different than it's like we were living in California. But it's really a special time of year when the quad comes alive with people getting excited for the warmth of spring around the corners.
I couldn't agree more. That energy, you could just feel it on campus, just like coming alive. Super exciting. When you think back on your time at University of Illinois, what are some of your fondest memories?
I think all of them.
And keep it PG-13.
Honestly. Yeah, no, I know. I think honestly all of them. I mean, it was really fun for me to relive it and to talk to my friends that I went to school with, and to also talk to my folks, and just that feeling of, I lived at the Weston dormitory, and I went back there and it looks the same. I remembered my old room, and being dropped off at college by my mom and dad when I was actually young. I was 17. And that feeling of new beginnings and figuring out who you're going to become. It's such a special place, and U of I is such a special place to do that. It's the quintessential campus. I've made so many great friends over the years there, great professors, great teachers, great environment. And it really gave me the foundation to go on and be brave enough to move out to California and start a career in television.
Yeah, so great. When you think about, the bravery you've had in your career, what are some of those things that happened in college, or when you think back of how did it help you? How did University of Illinois help you get to be where you are today?
It really was, I think a lot honestly had to do with the people that I met and, and the professors that I had, and, being able to sample different, different career choices, because there's so many that are offered at University of Illinois. It sounds kind of silly, but in my sorority, I was the social chairman, which taught me leadership, taught me how to plan events, which then eventually led me to working in public relations, which then eventually led me to producing TV shows. I was fortunate enough to study abroad through a program at U of I in Vienna, Austria, and that really opened my eyes to the world, which then gave me the courage to be an international TV producer. And I've filmed now in probably 30 to 40 countries around the world. I don't think that would have happened if I didn't study abroad. And it just giving me confidence and friendships for life, and a really solid foundation that made me brave enough to venture out and create a career in television. So it was just I can't say enough great things about the University of Illinois and how fortunate I am, and what a special moment it was for me to come back and to tell the story of U of I through the lens of the students. So that I kept thinking of the 17, 18, 19-year-old version of me, and seeing myself and all these students, and seeing how excited they are about the future, and how much the university has helped propel their career, or help strengthen them to then go move on to their career. And some of the students, going on to do such great things. Yeah. So it just truly was an incredible experience, and I'm so happy that we were together able to tell the U of I story.
I can tell you, being with Lisa on location at University of Illinois, it was really fun to watch you texting. Obviously you have a lot of friends still, from the University of Illinois. So you texting your friends, talking about old experiences, and just seeing that engagement from the alumni was really fun to see.
Oh yeah. It brought all of us back to those fun days. And once again, PG-13, but like just all the fun we had going to football games, those were the best, and basketball games, and going to classes together, and, hanging out at the quad, honestly, on a spring day. Like, I could just picture all of us there, and I was taking pictures, and I'm like, oh my God, you guys remember this? You remember this feeling? So it was such an incredible experience. And all my friends that graduated with me, I cannot wait to see this episode.
It's so great. Two more questions, Lise. One is, for students that are thinking about going to University of Illinois, what would you say to them?
Go. You would say yes. If you get in, go to University of Illinois. You can't have, I think, a more well-rounded, fun, community sense of education. And while I was there, it's so fun for me. A lot of my friends who went to University of Illinois, now their kids go to University of Illinois. Yeah. And so I don't know if you remember that.
Oh, for sure. Lisa was taking friends out to dinner. Kids out to dinner.
I was taking kids out to dinner all the time, and I was spoiling them. I'm like, what is the fanciest restaurant in Champaign or Urbana? Auntie Lisa's taking you out. And I even sent a few of them home, actually all of them home, with sushi rolls to take back to the dorm and share with a bunch of their friends. But they thought it was so fancy that I was taking them out for sushi and overfeeding them. But hearing all their stories was so incredible. And it's just so fun. And it's fun when you're sitting there at the table listening to, the next generation, and they sound like their moms, like they're literally, their voices sound like their moms. And it was such a trip for me. But it was super fun, and they still like to do the same things. And, they have the same kind of goals and dreams, and just really enjoying the college experience. It was really great for me to see them joining the college experience as much as we did.
That's awesome. I actually thought of another question, but the next question is for the students, not only the ones who participated in the college tour, they were all rock stars, but all the students at University of Illinois, as they're starting to take the next chapter in life and go on. And with your, the trajectory you've had in your career, what's your advice to them as they move on from college into the real world?
My advice is, it's tricky. It's tricky navigating once you graduate. And, U of I has set you up for success in terms of probably leadership, having a really solid education, a great degree, but really follow your passion and be brave. And if there's a job that you want, go out and hustle it. And if it's like, for me, I went out to California after graduating, and I knew no one, and I had like $100 in my pocket. And I just had, because of my foundation of, we overuse the word brave, but like, I was brave enough and confident enough in myself that I took that risk, went out to California, and was able to get, I knocked down the door so many times in order to get in. I was employee number 3 or 4 at Mark Burnett Productions, which ended up is one of the biggest production companies in the world. But it was my tenacity and my confidence, my ability to get along with people. And I think you learn people skills when you go to University of Illinois, in a Big Ten school. So I just follow your dreams, and don't take no for an answer. There's always another way around, and and I just wish you the best of luck, and really stay close with your community friends that you meet at University of Illinois, because together you guys will pursue your careers probably together and help each other out, and always support. It's great when alumni support alumni, and that's really important.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That was gonna be my final question to wrap this up. You're being an alumni, watching you with your friends. What would you say to the alumni, and their engagement back to the university?
Mentor kids, help support the next generation as much as you can, and just be more. I think what's great about this episode is that they're going to see, it's not just an idea, it's a face, it's a name. They're going to know these 10 students, and they're going to really re-engage in their story and think about their stories and think about their kids, and really help, support maybe through LinkedIn or other organizations, U of I Alumni Association, just helping the next generation. Because it's really hard right now, especially like post-COVID times. I don't want to talk about COVID, but it's harder now for kids to pursue careers. And as much as we can help them get on the path and support them, I think that's the right thing to do. And I feel like that's that was so great being back. It's like how you everyone's so nice. It's such a nice environment. Everyone we worked with on the U of I staff and making the episode has become our close friends. It's really been a special experience, and just making sure that we continue that kindness and that that collaboration together with the students is really important. And they all have our phone numbers now, and as much as that we can help them figure out their path, that's what we're meant to do. Yeah. But I have one question for you, AB.
Okay, what's up?
Yeah.
I was about to wrap this up.
No. Okay, you can see if you're good at practicing.
Okay.
ILL.
INI.
Woo! All right, well
Lisa,
done.
thank you for being on the After Show. It's really cool, and this was a really special episode. Once again, just reiterating, everyone at University of Illinois, it's the love and happiness of what that college and education.
I didn't cry.
I honestly thought you were about to tear up while you were talking.
Yeah,
so.
No, I wore mascara for this interview, and I didn't want to have it drip down. But no, it's been a very emotional ride, and just Alex and I, together, we couldn't be more proud to be part of the college tour and bring it to all you guys, and for my alma mater to be episode 6, I think is really, really 5. It's really, 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 really special.
Yeah, it is. All right. Well, thank you guys, and we'll see you guys on campus real soon. Cheers, everyone.